Look, there's so many different videos that are titled something like this, with so many different people saying all kinds of different things. They can't back it up. And moreover, there's so many different varying opinions. So I really just want to make one video that's your final last stop destination before you actually go and you actually take action and do the things that you learn and then get there. Okay, just for some credibility, I've done this 3 times in 3 different businesses. I've got a 4th business now that should reach that point. Well, I'm talking $100,000 a month in profit, and really create an incredible life for yourself. Now today, I mean, just a couple of years ago, I was struggling in a way that was so painful because I saw all these people and what they were achieving online, and then maybe you can relate to that. I was living with my parents and really didn't, you know, I don't know. I was very lost in life, and now today I'm married. I've got a child and another one on the way, and across the 2 businesses as well as a third one that is now becoming a branch off of our trunk. I'll be profiting about $150,000 to $200,000 a month, and I just want to share with you how to do that. Okay, like what are the things that people at that level think about that people who are doing 5, 10, 20, $30,000 a month, maybe $50,000 a month, don't quite seem to get and understand. And I want to make this so simple and so clear that you can actually take what I'm sharing with you away and go and do it and actually get results. Okay. And I've helped now 30 people get to well over $1 million a year, and 2 people get to 8 figures, meaning $10 million a year in their business. One of my clients just had a $1.5 million a month, and that's out of the Kaizen Mastermind group. The information's in the description if you want to learn more about that. So in this video, I'm just going to share with you a couple things. There's really 3 things that come to mind, okay? And I might add to the list, but I've got some bullet points here that I wrote down. And this is coming off of a call with some of our clients who they're starting to just have amazing results. I mean, but anyway, I won't go into that. I don't want it to feel like I'm like plugging what I do, even though it's the natural extension of this content. I know people like to just feel like they're getting a lot of valuable material even if they haven't paid you any money, and that's what I want this to be. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing is people who achieve 6-figure months, and I'm talking 6-figure profit months, and there's something about that number that's very magical. When you're making $100,000 a month profit, that's like real freedom. I'm talking you can do whatever you want. You can pretty much live life however you want. The next level is really making like $1 million a month. Like anything like $100,000 a month profit, you've unlocked a whole new way of living. And I honestly believe that every single person who has an offer that gets results for people can do it. It's not difficult, but there's some ways of thinking that you have more than likely that are holding you back from that. The first way is this idea of effort equals yield. So the harder I work, the more money I make. It's so programmed into people that it's actually really sad to see. Like right now, if you're an agency owner, or you have a coaching program, or you have a software a service of some sort, and you're doing manual outreach and cold calls and making a bunch of content and everything. I run this business, the Kaizen Mastermind, through this channel, mostly out of a labor of love. I mean, really, my other business could very well dominate the income that I make here, but I love this niche. And I love helping other people who are in this space, so that's why I do it. And that business, I literally, this is not me exaggerating, I work maybe an hour a day on it. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because functionally, when I'm deciding what to work on, I don't allow myself to use my energy and my attention as a resource. I know that sounds strange, but if I can just, think about it like this. Where you want to get in business, or in life, but let's just say in business, there's a gap between where you want to get and where you are now. And in between where you are now and there is essentially just a series of constraints and problems that you have to solve to then reach that point, right? That's a pretty simple visual and a pretty simple idea. In order to solve problems, you use tools. different tools applied to different problems, different thought tools or practical tools, like advertising is a tool. Sales calls and knowing sales, that's a tool. Or knowing how to build teams, it's a tool. If you allow yourself to think, I'm just going to work hard enough that it'll happen, and make enough content and try hard enough, I'm telling you, that's holding you back. That is a very low leverage way of thinking. And it gets you to 10, 20, 30 grand a month. It gets you to even 50, maybe even 100 grand a month, but not sustainably, because we're fickle as humans. If you're 19 or 20 right now, I get why you feel like that will never end, but it absolutely will. Something's going to happen in your life. Things change. You need to build systems that allow you to be at a level state of energy and still achieve amazing things. If you don't do that, you're not going to have sustainable growth, and you probably won't get there in the first place, because a lot of people aren't willing and don't really want to do this blinders on, 12-hour days, incredibly obsessed, buckle down thing. Like, it's not practical, okay? It's easy for gurus, if I was in my seat, to teach you and tell you, hey, just work harder. That's a cop-out answer for me. That's why you'll never catch me telling my Kaizen Mastermind clients, you're just not working hard enough. That's not it. That is a popular advice, because it's easy for me to take your money as a coach and then tell you you're just not working hard enough. Tell you just don't have the right mindset or whatever. But the truth is, business is a series of growing your business is a series of solving its constraints. And if your level of effort and work is one of the tools that you can apply to solving its constraints, then you're not really solving the constraints, because then you become the constraint. So basically, man, in that other company, I built it by using paid media, so paid advertising, that then sends people to what's called a VSL video, a video sales letter video. For a lot of marketers, you're familiar. Ours is about a 5-minute video. Then they can book a call, and then we have a bunch of more material that they can go through before the call. And that material is just automatic. It's a freaking conveyor belt. Like, we just had one of our best weeks. We turned $7,000 in ad spend into just shy of $40,000 in cash sales. And it's just a conveyor belt. It's a total conveyor belt. It requires none of my time. And the sales talent that we have over there, I use training that I don't have to be a part of. I just give them the training and they do it. So I don't have to be involved. And then the delivery is pre-made. I have a partner over there who does all the group calls and everything. And they do all of the course. And I just showed them how to do it. So I don't have to do anything. Okay? So I want you to understand that idea that leverage is what gets you there. Okay? So you have to be thinking in terms of, am I defaulting to using effort and hustle to get the job done? Because if you are, I'm telling you, you're not only robbing your life of a necessary component of peace, but you're robbing your business of that too. And when you have peace, you make better decisions. When you are peaceful, you're just a wiser business owner, and you can grow and do better things when you're not that concerned about the details, and you have peace, because you're doing what you're good at, and you're building systems around it. Okay, so that's the first thing, and I can dive more into that in another video if you guys really want. Here's the next thing. This is another thing that I'm seeing over and over again, and it's that people don't know what it looks like to deliver something at scale. They really have no good frameworks for how to take in 20, 50, 100 high-ticket clients every single month. They think that they just have a marketing problem, and then they just market and sell their way into tons of upset customers. Or they, in the back of their head, they know that they can't take on 10, 20, 30, 50 new clients a month. They're like, I don't even know how I would even support that. So I'm going to give you some frameworks right now on how I think about businesses that take on a ton of clients like that. The first thing is, you got to get out of your head this idea that like group programs are bad. Bad group programs are bad. Good group programs are amazing. Incredible. It's easy to F up a group program. But when you do it right, and it's a narrow gate to do it right. You got to do a lot of things right. But when you do it right, you truly can add more people to the system, and it's what's called in physics a flywheel, meaning it just gains momentum. And every time you get a new client, it's actually better for everybody else, not worse for everybody else, because they come in, they go through the material, and then they grow, and then the whole group. It's like that concept: the ships rise with the tide. And if you can create that environment within your material, within your program, you truly can have a business that can have unlimited clients, okay? And so, right now, a lot of people, they do a lot of one-on-one, or they don't know how to run a group, or they don't know how to think that way. So a couple rules for running a high-quality group is, A, make sure that everybody's using the same language and same lingo, and that you clarify the stages of the program so that when you're doing a group session, you can speak to one consciousness. You can have 100 people on the call, and it's like talking to one person because they all understand the same things. So your course is there not just to show them what to do, but to get them up to speed on core concepts and materials so that group calls then become valuable. If you don't have that, group calls are not valuable. And if you run a group program right now, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like your laggers, the loose links in your chain, dominate the call. And then the clients that are doing well, they don't get what they need. And moreover, there's just a bad energy to the whole group. This is a huge issue. I just ran a series on how to scale delivery for the Kaizen Mastermind clients, and I want to do my best to explain what I explained to you here. There's 3 levels of support, 3 tiers of support, and nobody taught me this. I just came up with this. My first multi-6-figure month business, it was a 5K offer. We got it to 300 grand a month. Okay, at its peak, that was its best month. All right, and there's 3 tiers. Okay, the first lowest tier is material, like course material, like educational stuff. Okay, this should get them up to speed on core concepts, help them know what to do, irrelevant of using your time. They should be able to get results just with that. Okay, you need to take the time to build a cohesive front to back process, not just showing them things, not just teaching them things, telling them what to go and do, and then not just showing them what to do, but why it works, so that you can download your way of thinking into your client's life or business, so that you don't just get them blindly following actions, but you're really transferring a worldview to them. That's the first rung, okay? And you can't think about course material like course material. It's kind of like copywriting material that gets them more bought into the decision that they made to invest, especially the first couple of modules. The first module, the first 2 to 3 hours of course material should resell them on the decision that they made so that they get through the rest of the material, okay? The second rung is interactables, okay? A great example is like an artificial intelligence tool that you custom make for your clients. So something that they can use, maybe it's your voice in an artificial intelligence, or maybe it's, if you have, for example, one of my clients in the Kaizen group, she helps heal chronic pain for people. I was thinking for her, an interactable could absolutely be an artificial intelligence tool that diagnoses what the problem could be based on Anya, that's her name, and her expertise with that particular deliverable. You know, healing chronic pain. So like, that's an amazing interactable. Another interactable could be a spreadsheet. If you have a business coaching program of some sort, a spreadsheet where they track key KPIs like ad spend, leads, sales, etc., that you can then use in reference when you're referencing your clients' businesses. All of your clients should use the same interactables, and these interactables should gather data about their situation so that on group calls you can pull up the interactable and take a look at what they're doing so that everybody can get up to the same speed on the same things. Okay? Group programs actually rock if you run them the right way. A good interactable is like a spreadsheet. And on a call, you can say, hey, pull up your spreadsheet. Let me see what you've done over the past 3 weeks or so we can diagnose maybe what the problem is, whether it's a business program, a life program, personal life program, a marriage thing, it doesn't matter. Having some sort of a trackable, an interactable that you can pull up, you can show to everybody, okay, here's where I'm seeing the problem is. Here's my advice based on a proper diagnosis. And then the final rung is human capital. First rung is material, second rung is interactables and tracking mechanisms. Final rung is human capital. Human capital is the final thing that you deploy to solve their problem. You should have built a good enough material, good enough interactables and tracking mechanisms to then allow you to use human capital a little bit and serve a ton of people. I'm talking group programs and community posts, and if you need to have a one-on-one, you have a one-on-one. Okay? And by the way, my Kaizen group, I have no more than about 30 or 40 recurring clients over there at any given time. That's more than enough for me to do one-on-ones. But even the one-on-ones that we do, the material and the interactables and everything, you'll see me doing that over there. And the results are astounding. I mean, I just had a client start a brand new business, and he got it to 120 grand the first month. Okay? First month of a brand new business. So I want you to understand, I've nailed that stuff. Okay? So again, hard pitch. If this sounds cool to you at all, you got to get in that group. Okay, you can learn more about it. The link's in the description. So the first thing I talked about is effort does not equal outcome. You got to disassociate how hard you work from the outcomes that you'd want to drive. Okay. The second thing is a lot of people just don't know what it looks like to deliver a meaningful program at scale. They literally have no concept. They have never seen a program delivered at scale. They don't get it. It doesn't make sense to them that you can sign 10, 30, 60 clients a month. Okay. And here's the final rung that gets you to 6 figures a month profit. Okay. And this is probably, I guess I would say this is another mindset thing, but not really. I just think that a lot of people aren't even aware of the constraints that they're actually facing. So here's what I mean to say. Like I said earlier, business is a series of growing your business is knowing where you are and where you want to get, and then it's properly identifying the constraints. If you don't know what your constraints are, or you don't know how to solve them, that's it. That's what's holding you back. Okay, you have to know what you want and why you want it, and then what's in the way of getting there. Fundamentally, if you want to affect any measured change on a system, a business is a system, you need to know where you want the system to be and where it is now, and then what's in between. And so constraint analysis is probably the final thing that 6-figure month profit earners are highly capable of doing, or have people that can help them do that. Because it's often hard to be self-aware of what your constraints are. And sometimes just having somebody come in and tell you what your constraint is the quickest way to 6-figure profit months. You know, if you don't know what your constraints are, you're flying completely blind. You can waste years solving the wrong problems or going in completely the wrong direction. Or maybe you don't even know that right now what you have can grow, but you're not able to see that because you don't have the experience to do so. And guys, I mean, that's, you know, relatively, you just really got two options. You can try and solve your constraints yourself, or you can get the support from somebody. And whether that's myself or somebody else, genuinely, I could care less. You got to have somebody who can show you those constraints. Okay, it's the most important thing is that you can recognize where you're stuck and exactly why and what to do about it quickly. Okay, so to summarize the video, effort does not equal yield. High quality, scalable delivery, and then effective constraint analysis. Okay, if you have those things, you will make $100,000 a month profit. I mean, it's just in a matter of time if you execute well that you can absolutely get there. And if you like my content, you like the idea of being able to have a one-on-one call with me whenever you want, Slack me anytime, and you know, be a part of a group of people that are doing anywhere from 20 to 50 grand a month to $500,000 to even $1 million a month. I've got clients in here that are doing 100 grand a month that want to get to 500, and you live get to watch them doing it. You'll be in a community of people that are at that level. People that just came in at 20 grand a month and are about to have their first 6-figure month. I have clients that started a brand new business. They did 120 grand their first month. And by the way, the reason why I call it Kaizen is that's a Japanese business philosophy of 1% improvements every day. I really believe in that. It's not a matter of quantum leaps. It's a matter of 1% improvements every day, unless your system is going in the wrong direction, in which case you got to adjust it. But if it's going in the right direction, just improve it a little bit every day, and it'll get to a great spot. So thanks for watching, and you know, go to the description. I'm actively taking in clients in October. I cap it at about 30, and I've got a couple spots open at the moment. So who knows? Maybe it's a good fit. So I'll see you soon.